Warning, what you are about to hear is born of long years of deep friendship, shared experience, brutal honesty, and the reconciling grace of Jesus Christ. Please, do not walk up to the first black or white person you know and start this sort of banter. It will not end well.
What I've been tripping off of, man, and this is where I've been, right? Like, is this Georgia runoff. This is what I want to look at, this Georgia runoff, right?
Really,
And
always with the politics. Always with the
yeah,
politics.
man, because it so will speak to our theology, right?
Okay, well, I got to see if I can get some Advent and Christmas in here anyway, because just so everybody out there knows, I offered a Christmas special, right? I was like, let's talk about Christmas, but Father Jabel wants to talk about politics.
I'm gonna put it this way: you want to talk about Christmas? I'm gonna talk about incarnation.
Oh, okay, all right. Touche. We already knew who the sharper theological mind was here, right? Like,
Brother, iron sharp as iron. Tick, 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 but I'm looking at I'm looking at the Georgia runoff because I understand how whiteness works. It's kind of like what we were talking about before, right? Like, whew, we elected Joe Biden. Whew, we can breathe now. Everything is back to normal. America is back. Whew.
we could do the whole rest of the episode on just that phrase, like, we can breathe now. Right? Like,
God rest you, merry gentlemen. America is back. That's another one for the Christmas special, right? But
right.
Oh,
yes.
But here's the thing. With the Georgia runoff, right? Here's my prediction, right? And I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm going to be right. Unless people hear what we're saying, unless it makes sense what we're about to say, I think I'm going to be right. I'm betting, and I'm looking for Predicted. Predicted.com. You can bet on elections.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I am betting, and I haven't seen this poll come out yet, but I would put money behind this bet.
Always bet on white.
Oh yeah, and this is what I'm saying. I am betting, and you are proving my point. I am betting that the Georgia runoff will be split. That Ossoff will win, and Loeffler will win. I am betting that they will get rid of the old white man with a young white man, and they'll vote for the white woman. And why? Here's why I'm saying that. A myriad of reasons, but I can even go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? We can peel back the onion layers on reasons why I believe this will happen, right? First and foremost, like I said, white folks are tired. Y'all done accomplished the goal. Y'all got Trump out of office. The broader election proved this point. The problem is not with the Republicans' angle. The problem is that Trump went a little too far. Just a little, because he lost a resounding loss at the end of the day, but it ain't no resounding loss. You know what I mean? It wasn't a loss that was unquestionable. The Republicans gained seats in the House. They held the Senate so far.
Right. Well, the House gaining is your strongest argument there. But yeah, go ahead.
The Senate could become the Senate is still out, right? The jury is still out on the Senate. But what we know is that it was not the trouncing, the blue wave that we thought it was going to be. Well, not we, but that y'all thought it was going to be. And so, back to normal is the thing. We are going back to normal. And we still don't want the Democrats to have all the power. Because again, half of America agrees with the general direction that Trump was going. We are straight up and down voting our quote unquote values now, because everything is back to normal. The Republicans have already started trying to discredit Raphael Warnock, pastor, black pastor, pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church. Right now, the pressure is mounting on Warnock to disavow himself.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sort of proving your point, right? Like as far as just sort of ignoring the Georgia runoff, right? Like I'm just like, I don't know anything about it. I don't watch it. I don't.
So, and this is why I say, this is all reasons why I say Ossoff is going to win, Warnock is going to lose. Mm-hmm. Because, and this goes to the racial heresy of things, right? Where we live. Mm-hmm. Because white folks have a problem with the prophetic witness of the black church. White folks do not accept the prophetic witness of blackness. White folks do not accept, let me go further. The white folks do not accept that the prophetic witness of blackness is indeed Christian. And so they've labeled Warnock a Marxist, you know, and so on and so forth, because they do not accept the prophetic witness of blackness as being Christian.
This is going to be a really short episode. All right. Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect for what you talk about in your master's thesis work, right?
There's I was trying not to go there, again.
But you know, I'm gonna get you there, right? Like, there's something that carries over here, and it's time for the white church to stand up and say, here we have a black pastor who is coming to the halls of power. There is something that carries over here. So as you critique him, understand there is something that carries over here. There is a blessing in what he is offering. Should we receive it, white Christians? And if we water him down, because here's the thing, right? What white Christians will say from their political standpoint, and they won't say this intent, like cognitively. You know what I mean? They'll say it like subconsciously, intuitively, right? That, well, all he has to do is comport himself the way we want him to comport himself, and we'll elect him.
Right.
And he'll still be a pastor.
Mm-hmm. White theology coming out of a black mouth. That's all we want.
You know, we will allow him to castrate himself. Whiteness will allow him to castrate himself. It's like, we're not castrating him. He's just castrating himself so that we can elect him. So he'll whitewash himself. He'll, show him with his dog and let his dog lick him in the face and stuff like that, because white folks are like, oh, so nice. And he'll, help old ladies and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that he shouldn't, but understand, all of that is a push to mitigate against the attacks of the Republicans on his identity in the image of God in which he was created, and that was given to him in theology and praxeologically as a pastor. That is how they are attacking him.
This is, so we touched on this earlier, but now it's finally resonating more deeply to me, right? Like, I think we sort of made a joke about it earlier, right? Like this is the humanization that we deny, mm-hmm. right? You talk about in that image of God, right? We deny the full humanity, because part of full humanity is the expression of identity, the expression of call, the expression of vocation, and us submitting to God's authority to embody, to incarnate vocation and call and grace and ministry and prophetic voice in something other than a white body.
Right.
In something other than white culture, in something other than whiteness, right. In something other than white baby Jesus sitting in a manger somewhere, not crying at all, right?
Right, like, right.
Just there's no blood, there's no pain, there's no agony, right? Right, yeah. Right. Silent night. It was silent. There was silent night. Baby anywhere. Right. But yeah, I mean, this
not a healthy baby.
No, it's deep, right? This claim that we make in the white church to equality and inclusiveness and full involvement, right, and communion, when we do not extend the fullness of the humanity that we occupy and we define in our own minds. It exists, right? But in our own minds, we do not extend that,
man.
Anyone else.
Here's how audacious it is, right? We just saw Amy Coney Barrett get named to the Supreme Court. The biggest thing that the Republicans pushed back on was they're challenging her on her faith. So a non-theologian has more right to their faith than a theologically trained pastor. Mm-hmm. That's back to that point where you were saying that the black theologian has no theology by which white Christians are bound to respect. Mm-hmm. That is the epitome of that example. The same fools who were advertising and getting Republicans up in arms because you can't check Amy Coney Barrett on her faith. She's entitled to believe what she believes. This is a free country. Are the very same ones who are now drumming up the very same Republicans to be mad at Raphael Warnock for his faith.
Well, I wonder if and you'll have to tell me this, because I don't, as we've noted many times, I don't pay attention the same way that you do about all these political things. But like, I wonder, I think the reverse is true, right? There's this pattern of behavior where Democrats, right, will be involved with attack, question white faith, right, when it is politically expedient, but will not stand up for black faith, right?
Never have.
There's some
Never have. Again, they didn't tell Obama, you stick with Jeremiah Wright. That's your pastor. Your pastor is important. Your faith is important. Your pastor is important to your faith development. Don't let no one come between you and your pastor. A bunch of non-theologians told him to give up his pastor, and he dropped his pastor like hotcakes. And here's where it gets worse. We were talking about his book, A Promised Land.
You were talking about his book. I haven't read it yet.
I ain't read it neither. I ain't gonna read it. But I've read, the snippets that came out and whatnot, which confirmed for me why I'm not gonna read it. Where in the book, he lambasts Jeremiah Wright as being out of touch, as being dated, and as having, he eviscerates him. Still, years later, as if somehow he can define black faith. I guess because he was sanctioned with the highest power that white power can give you, he now has the authority, because whiteness has always taken the authority to determine what blackness is. So now that he's been given this authority, he can determine it as well.
So I was looking around for my little soundboard, where I press the button that starts playing my statement about not critiquing blackness, right? Or blackness, like we have now officially stepped out of my realm. Right? Where's my button?
But here's the thing. Let me bring it back, because this goes back to the Georgia runoff.
You promised me incarnation.
If I were the Republicans, again, I used to be in politics. You say I pay attention to these politics. I used to be in politics before I came I came to the church and got into real politics.
That's another episode.
But if I were working on if I were working in the Georgia GOP, of course they're reading Obama's book too, Opposition Research. You're looking for something from the Democrats' hero. The Democrats' hero is Obama. You're looking for something from their hero that you can use against them. Obama gave the Republicans gold. If I was a Republican strategist, I would see what he said about Jeremiah Wright and just use it against Raphael Warnock. That's what I would do. Especially when Raphael Warnock has declared, and this is what's in the ad that the Republicans are already using, he declared his affinity and his regard for and his love for Jeremiah Wright. So now all I would do, the nail in the coffin, would be take what Barack Obama said. The Democratic standard bearer who also is the black man's idol, the black people's idol. I would take the words of Barack Obama and say, this is what Barack Obama has to say about the faith perspective of Raphael Warnock. And when you do that, that will give white folks everything they need to not vote for Warnock and to be comfortable splitting their vote.
So where's incarnation? Okay, I got to politics. I need.
See, we're in Advent. Incarnation is up to y'all. We're in Advent, and Advent is the time to prepare for the birth. Advent is the time to prepare for labor. It's in the throes of pregnancy, them final weeks and months of pregnancy, that the real pain starts. Women really start getting tossed around. The baby really start kicking and moving and trying to get out, and it's a lot of pain.
You've had the nausea.
So right? And so now getting ready for labor. You know, getting ready to deliver this baby, getting ready for incarnation, getting ready for bringing the word into the midst of the people. And the word into the midst of the people is that this black man, Raphael Warnock, has every right given by God to have the perspective that he has. And it is out of our place. It is not our place. The same way, and more so, the same way it wasn't our place, Republicans, to criticize Amy Coney Barrett for her faith belief, it is more so not our place to criticize the faith beliefs of a man who actually was trained to think through these things. That's the incarnate word. The incarnate word is birthing into, from the mouth of whiteness. You know, the incarnation came from the least expected place. An unwed teen mother. The least expected place. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? The incarnate word came out of the least expected place. The least expected place in America for that to come out of is from the mouth of a white man.
There ain't no room at this inn, brother. I love that comparison, right? I love that the least expected place. Quite a twist, and I was not expecting. Again, I was definitely not expecting to land on whiteness, to actually bet on white, right? Like to have to be in a situation where the twisted, upside down, inverted economy reality of God would be that a white man would be this prophetic, submissive, humble voice for blackness.
Look, it ain't for blackness, bro. It's for whiteness. Because again, this is the indictment of whiteness, right? White allies continuously tell us why we should trust them.
Right, of the power of blackness in the life of white, right? The authority to declare and submit to the authority of blackness in the life of the white church, to declare and submit to the authority of the prophetic voice, to proclaim the authenticity and to proclaim in action, right, in belief of the authentic divine power present in the proclamations of preachers and pastors in the black church.
Right. Amen. Yeah. That indeed that, hey, guys, there's something that carries over here.
Wouldn't that be a Christmas miracle?
Amen. That would be incarnation.
Thank you for listening to Racial Heresy. Be sure to visit our website, racialheresy.com, to post your questions, comments, and feedback, and to share your own stories of life as a racial heretic. Want to hear more? You can find past episodes of Racial Heresy on iTunes and the Racial Heresy website. Want to hear even more? Invite Racial Heresy to speak at your conference, council, church, training, or event. Email us at ebonyandivory@racialheresy.com or visit our website for information on speaking engagements.